All right, today I'm going to show you how to replace an RV toilet flange seal, and it is pretty simple. Of course, you really only have to replace it for one of two reasons. Either it leaks, which is the most likely reason, or you're replacing the toilet. Maybe you have a plastic bowl, you want a porcelain one like we have here. That is no problem. It is essentially the same procedure. You're going to need a couple things. Gloves for obvious reasons. A wrench, try not to drop it. This one's 1/2 inch, yours may be different. This will be to remove the bolts, or rather remove the nuts on the bolt so you can pull the toilet up and off. You will need a seal itself. You cannot use a wax gasket. It will cause issues. We're in an RV. You want to use an OEM one. Your Dometic, for most Dometic toilets, will look like this. Most Thetford ones will have a little lip like this. Today, we'll be working on a Thetford style too, so this is the gasket we'll be using. And then you will also, a lot of times it comes with a kit, but you will want some new nuts and bolts in case yours are bad for the flange there. And then you'll want some kind of towels. I usually like having old towels if you have them laying around. I don't have them today, so we're gonna use this guy right here to set the toilet on, and then we'll use this one to clean up any residual water. So let's get right down to it. All right, so the first step is actually to drain the black tank if it's not already drained. Because we're going to be removing the toilet, we're essentially gonna have a straight pipe for all those odors to permeate into the RV. So it's not a bad idea to open a window if you have one in your bathroom. Some people will also drop some chemicals in there, some little odor neutralizer before they take the toilet off in order to help with that a little bit. After that, you want to clean your toilet if you plan on reusing it. Obviously if you're switching to a new one, it doesn't matter, but if you are if you're just replacing that seal, you'll want to clean the toilet. And then before we remove it, we have water currently run to the toilet, or in this case, we have some antifreeze, but we want to clear those lines out so it doesn't spill all over the floor. So to do that, you want to turn the water pump off and then simply depress your foot flush lever so you can drain that water out of the line. So the next steps are to remove the water line. So this is when you're going to want some towels. Again, because a lot of times there is a little bit of residual water in those lines. After we remove the water lines, we can then remove the bolt covers, undo the nuts on the bolts, which will then allow us to pull the toilet off. You'll generally want somewhere to set the toilet. If it's a smaller bathroom, you'll have to create some space outside of the bathroom. Again, lay some towels down. For my demonstration, I laid some paper towel here in the shower, and I'm just gonna set it right in there. But let's get to disconnecting that water line. All right, so I've removed the toilet. Again, mine is a brand new toilet, so it's going to look very different than yours, I'm sure. But you can see here we have a seal, so we're going to remove the old seal and put the new one on here. You also want to check your bolts and make sure that your bolts here are in good shape and that you don't have any cracks in the flange. To change out the bolts, you see they just slip out just like that. It is quite simple. You'll also want to make sure that your nuts are in good shape. If you have a mounting kit that came with it, again, they are easy enough to replace. I do recommend replacing them. If you don't, a lot of times, if they're in good shape, they will work just fine. So we're going to replace the seal and put the toilet back on. All right, folks, and there you have it. As you saw, not too bad of a process to change the floor seal. But with that being said, there are a couple things. One, you want to make sure you don't over tighten the nuts or you can crack the base. Also, if you're replacing the toilet, you want to make sure you know the dimension between the center of the drain and the wall. That will be your critical dimension. And if you don't have to replace the floor seal, maybe the water in your toilet is just draining out. Well, that's going to be a flush ball seal. And folks, we have a great video for that for both a Thetford and Dometic toilet. So make sure you check those out.